Students, I'm your Kusum ma'am. Let's start with 8th standard, chapter number 10, combustion and flame. So what is combustion? It is a oxidation reaction that when carbon combined with oxygen, it burns to produce carbon dioxide. So that is called combustion. So in this chapter, we are going to learn about the various processes of combustion and what is flame, what are the different parts of flame and different types of combustion. So let's start out with the chapter. We use different kinds of fuel for various purposes at home, in industries and for running automobiles. Can you name a few fuels used in your home? So here we are using fuel at home. So like LPG, which we use to light up the gas. And then in villagers use cow dung cakes, wood, coal, charcoal. And for running vehicles, petrol, diesel and CNG is used. So thus few kinds of fuels which are used for different purposes. So here the question is, name few fuels which are used at home. So answer will be cow dung, wood, coal, charcoal or LPG. Whereas the fuel which is used in automobiles, petrol, diesel and CNG. Even they can ask, write the full form of CNG for 1 mark question. Now you are familiar with the burning of candle. What is the difference between the burning of candle and burning of fuel like coal? So here when the candle is burning, we are not getting smoke as we get in the case of coal. May you be able to guess, candle burns with a flame whereas coal does not. So here the difference, what is the burning difference between candle and coal? Candle burns with flame whereas coal does not burn with flame. Similarly, you will find many other materials burning without flame. So let us study the chemical process of burning and the types of flame produced during this process. So here we are going to learn about the chemical process, what is taking place during burning. Now what is combustion? So as the chapter itself is named as combustion, so let me know what is combustion. Recall the activity of burning of magnesium ribbon performed in class 7. So here magnesium ribbon, when magnesium is burnt in air, it will combine with oxygen present in the air and it will form magnesium oxide. So magnesium will react with oxygen to produce MgO. It will form magnesium oxide. We learn that magnesium burns to form magnesium oxide and produces heat and light. We can perform a similar activity with a piece of charcoal. So as we burned magnesium, the same way we can burn charcoal. Charcoal is nothing but it is a form of carbon. Hold a piece with a pair of tongs and bring it near the flame of the candle or Bunsen burner. What do you observe? So when we take a piece of charcoal and if we burn, so what we are observing? We find that charcoal burns in air. We know that coal too burns in air, producing carbon dioxide, heat and light. So this is the ultimate result. When something burns, as it is having carbon in it, so it will react with oxygen. Oxygen is a supporter which is important for burning. So thus carbon will burn with oxygen to produce carbon dioxide. And as they are burning or the combustion is taking place, so heat is produced along with light. So they are the end product. Now how we call it as a chemical process? So here a chemical process in which a substance reacts with oxygen to give off heat is called combustion. So this is the definition of the combustion. Underline and learn it properly. What is combustion? The chemical process in which substance will react with oxygen to give heat is called combustion. Now the substance that undergoes combustion is said to be combustible. So the material which is burning is called combustible. It is also called fuel. So here one more question. What is combustible substance? The substance which undergoes combustion is called combustible substance. What is the other name of combustible substance? It is called fuel. The fuel may be solid, liquid or gas. So what are the different types of fuels? They can be solid, liquid or gas. Sometimes light is also given off during combustion, either as a flame or as a glow. So sometimes it may be a low glow or it can be flame. In the reaction mentioned above, magnesium and charcoal are combustible substance as they burned and they produced heat and light and carbon dioxide for the case of charcoal, but for the case of magnesium, magnesium oxide is produced. So as they are giving heat and light, so they are called combustible substances. As they are undergoing combustion, so they are combustible substances. So out of this whole page, we need to remember few example of combustible substances and what is combustible substance, what is combustion, and what is the other name of combustible substance like fuel. So these are the important questions of this page. While preparing, write down the questions and learn them separately. So here, how our body is getting energy. That is, in our body, food is broken down by reaction with oxygen and heat is produced. So here, how the digestion is taking place. That is, digestion is nothing but oxidation of food. So what is digestion? Digestion is oxidation of food. So here, the food that is glucose, C6H12O6, will react with oxygen to produce carbon dioxide, water and heat. So here again carbon dioxide, water and heat means here it is energy which we are getting and which is useful for our work. So thus digestion is also a type of combustion as carbon dioxide, water and energy is produced. Now we need to collect some materials like straw, matchstick, kerosene oil, paper, iron nails, stone pieces, glass, etc. So all this activity must be done under the supervision of teacher. So as we are doing the burning activity, so students must be very careful. Try to burn each of these materials one by one. So we are burning matchstick, straw, kerosene oil, paper, each one by one. If combustion take place, mark the material combustible, and if they are not burning, we'll mark them non-combustible. So this is activity to find out whether the substance is combustible or not. So here we collected few materials and then we are categorizing them as combustible or non-combustible. If they are burning, they are combustible. If they are not burning, non-combustible. So in that sense, wood is combustible, paper is combustible, iron nail is non-combustible, kerosene is combustible, stone is non-combustible, straw is combustible, charcoal is combustible, matchstick is combustible, glass is non-combustible. Can you name some more substances which are combustible? So out of that or other than these, some more examples you can add to these tables. So if you know some other material, you can further extend the table. Let us investigate conditions under which combustion take place. So this activity is also very important activity which can be asked in exam. So here, what are the conditions needed for combustion? We know that for combustion, we need combustible material or fuel, the thing which is burning. And the next one, we need oxygen as it supports combustion. And moreover, we need ignition temperature. So here the three conditions are needed. The first one, oxygen. First is oxygen. Second, ignition temperature. And third one, fuel. So these are the three things which are needed for combustion. So let's perform the activity. Here, fix a lighted candle on the table. Put a glass chimney over the candle and rest it on a few wooden blocks. So here we have taken a candle and then chimneys are kept on that. For the first one, here for the third case, we kept a cardboard, wooden cardboard. So here such a way that air can enter the chimney. Now observe that Observe what happens to the flame. Now remove the block and let the chimney rest on the table. So yeah, after having that, we are removing this block and then we are just observing what is happening. Now again observe, so here the different figures are taken. For the first one, A, we just removed the block and we are seeing what is happening. Again observe the flame, finally put the glass plate over the chimney. Watch the flame again. What happens in the three cases? So here one by one we are seeing the activity. First one, it is kept open where no blockage is there. So this candle will continue to burn. Here for the second case, as the block is kept, so candle will put off. So with this activity, what we can say, we need oxygen for burning. So we find that combustion, air is necessary. From this activity, we conclude that for combustion, air is necessary. The glass burns freely in case A, when air can enter the chimney from below. So here the first case, you can see in the activity, they have taken the block which is on certain raised platform. So here the chimney is getting some opening. From bottom, oxygen is entering. So it is continuing to burn. Whereas for the second case, it is completely flat. So no oxygen is there. Availability of oxygen is not there. So after few minutes of burning, it will put off. Now the first case, where the air can enter the chimney from below. In case 2, that is B, when air does not enter the chimney from below, the flame flickers. Flickers means it will become weak and finally produce smoke. So it will put off and then smoke will start rising. In case C, the flame finally goes off because the air is not available. So we can see here the third one, the flame is again will put off as no air is there. First case, it is burning very nicely. The reason, oxygen is supplied from the bottom. Here no supply of oxygen, so it will put off by producing some smoke. For the third case, no availability of air at all, so again it will also put off. So this activity which gives us the conditions necessary for burning. So as I told, 3 conditions are important for burning, that is supply of oxygen, ignition temperature and fuel. So here we are getting a definition for ignition temperature. So what is ignition temperature? Ignition temperature is the minimum temperature at which a fuel starts burning. It is minimum temperature at which a fuel starts burning. We have read that sun produces its own heat and light. Is it also some kind of combustion? So here burning in the sun is a kind of combustion which we call nuclear fission. So there hydrogen atoms are present which will combine to produce helium, and during that process lot of heat is generated. So there is another category of reaction. In the sun, heat and light are produced by nuclear reaction. So here the nuclear reaction is taking place which is called nuclear fission. We will learn this in higher classes. Now again another activity is done. Place a piece of burning wood or charcoal on an iron plate or tawa. Cover it with a glass jar or tumbler or a transparent plastic jar. Observe what happens. Does charcoal stops burning after some time? Here again, if we cover it, it will stop burning after some time as there is no supply of oxygen. So whenever we perform any activity where the supply of oxygen is stopped, the fuel will stop burning. So that we need to remember. Now you might have heard that when the clothes of a person catch fire, the person is covered with blanket to extinguish fire. Can you guess why? So here when a person is catching fire, he is covered with blanket. So why he is covered with blanket? Because when we cover it with blanket, the supply of oxygen will stop. Now whatever oxygen he is getting the contact for the burning, which will make the thing to burn much more faster. By keeping a blanket, we are just hiding that. We are not permitting oxygen to come in contact. So thus the fire can be put off. Now recall some of your experiences. Does a matchstick burns by itself? How does it burns? Here we strike the matchstick. we need to rub the matchstick. Why we are rubbing? To increase the temperature. You must have had an experience of burning piece of paper. Does it burn when a burning matchstick is brought near it? So it starts burning because we are providing temperature. Can you burn a piece of wood by bringing a lighted matchstick near it? We cannot burn. So all these points are interrelated to ignition temperature. To make something to burn, we need to provide the minimum temperature at which it will start burning. And that minimum temperature is called ignition temperature. Can you burn a piece of wood by bringing lighted matchstick? Answer is no, because we cannot bring the ignition temperature. Why do you have to use paper or kerosene oil to start fire in wood or charcoal? Have you heard of forest fire? So how the forest fire is getting? That is, the dry branches will rub with each other. They produce some spark which will make the thing to burn. Now out of second page, you need to remember what is the condition for burning, that activity, and the next one, how we can prevent if a person catches fire, okay, or why he is covered with blanket to put off fire. Now, do these experiences tell you that different substances catch fire at different temperatures? So from our all examples, we got to know that different substances are burning at different temperature. So here this point is very important. What is ignition temperature? The lowest temperature at which a substance catches fire is called ignition temperature. So what is ignition temperature? Minimum temperature at which substance burns. Can you tell now why a matchstick does not catch fire on its own at room temperature? So the answer is room temperature is not sufficient, or room temperature is lower, okay, to make the thing to burn. So why does the matchstick start burning on rubbing? When we are rubbing it on the side of the matchbox, we are increasing the temperature. We are making the temperature to be of ignition temperature. So the matchstick will start burning. We can find that a combustible substance cannot catch fire or burn as long as its temperature is lower than ignition temperature. So the final answer, if in any question they will ask like why the substance is not burning, we need to say that its burning temperature is lower than ignition temperature. So as ignition temperature is not reached, it will not burn. Have you ever seen cooking oil catching fire when a frying pan is kept for longer on burning stove? So here if we keep the oil for longer on the stove, the oil will start fire. The reason, it will reach to its ignition temperature. Kerosene oil and wood do not catch fire on their own at room temperature. For everything you need to write the reason like it's lower than its ignition temperature, so it will not catch fire. But if kerosene oil is heated a little, it will catch fire. But if wood is heated a little, it would still not catch fire. The reason is ignition temperature of wood is more than kerosene. Does it mean that ignition temperature of kerosene oil is lower than that of the wood? Yes, it means that the ignition temperature of kerosene is lower than wood. That's why kerosene is burning faster at low temperature than wood. Does it mean that we need to take special care in storing kerosene oil? That's why kerosene oil is stored carefully, because its ignition temperature is very less. The following activity shows that it is essential for a substance to reach ignition temperature to burn. So here we are going to start out with another activity. Now make 2 paper cups. This is the activity to show that ignition temperature is necessary for burning. Make 2 paper cups by folding a sheet of paper. Pour about 50 ml of water in one of the cup. Now we are putting some water in one of the cup and then taking a candle, and we are making both the cups to burn. The cup which is having water will not burn, whereas the cup which is without water will burn. The reason, when we kept water in the cup, its ignition temperature will increase. So it will take more time to burn, whereas here without water, ignition temperature is very less. So soon we keep on the candle, it will start burning. Now what happens to the empty paper cup? We'll say that it will catch fire. What happens to the paper cup with water? It will not burn. The reason is as the ignition temperature is more compared to empty cup.